2, check 1, 2, 2, 1, 2. Hello. testing out.
Testing. Oh. Check, test. All right. Check.
I've been warped by the rain, driven by the snow. I'm drunk and dirty, don't you know? And I'm still willing. And I was out on the road late at night. I seen my pretty Alice in every headlight. Alice, Dallas, Alice. And I've been from Tucson to Tucumcari, to Hatchapee to Tonopah, driven every kind of rig that's ever been made, driven the back road so I wouldn't get weighed. And if you give me weed, white sand wine, and you show me a sign, I'll be willing to be moving. I've been kicked by the wind, robbed by the sleet, had my head stoved in, but I'm still on my feet, and I'm still willing. Smuggled some smokes and folks from Mexico, baked by the sun every time I go to Mexico. And I'm still, and I've been from Tucson to Tucumcari, Hatchapee to Tonopah, driven every kind of rig that's ever been made, driven the back road so I wouldn't get weighed. And if you give me weed, white sand wine, and you show me seems cold. Stay young at heart. Ah, 'cause you never, never, That's the way of the world. Plant your flower, and you grow. Child is born with a heart of gold. Way of the world. Plant your flower. This is heart so cold. Yeah, this is me, y'all. Hearts of fire, creates love, desire. Take you higher and higher to the world you belong. Hearts of fire, love, desire. Higher and higher, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hearts of fire, love, desire. Came together on a special day. Sung our message loud and clear. Looking back, we've touched no sign for days. Future disappear. You will find it's all mine. If you look way down in your heart and soul, don't hesitate, 'cause the world seems cold. Stay young at heart. Cause you never, never, never. That's the way of the world. Plant your flowers, and you grow. Child is born. Listen now, with a heart of gold. Way of the world. Makes us whole. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Never. Well. Don't you hear me now? Don't you hear me now? Won't you hear me now? Won't you hear me now? Hearts of fire, hearts of fire, love, desire,
I am an old woman named after my mother. My old man is another child that's grown old. If dreams were thunder and lightning was desire, this old house would have burnt down at a long time ago. Make me an angel that flies from just a free rambling man. But that was a long time, and no matter how I tried, those years just flow by like a broken down dam. Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to. Believing this living is just a hard way to go. There's flies in the kitchen. I can hear them, they're buzzing. And I ain't done nothing since I woke up today. How the hell can a person go to work in the morning and come home in the evening and have nothing to say? Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to. Believe in this living is just a hard way to go. Believe in this living is just a hard way to go.
I lit up from Reno, I was trailed by 20 hounds. Didn't get to sleep that night till the morning came around. Set out run, but I take my time. A friend of the devil is a friend of mine. I get home before daylight, just might get some sleep tonight. Ran into the devil, baby, loaned me 20 bills. Spent the night in Utah in a cave up in the hills. Set out running, but I take my time. A friend of the devil is a friend of mine. I get home before daylight, just might get some sleep tonight. I ran down to the levee, but the devil caught me there. Took my $20 bill and it vanished in the air. Stop running, but I take my time. A friend of the devil is a friend of mine. I get home before daylight, just might get some sleep tonight. Got two reasons why I cry away each lonely night. The first one's named Sweet Anne Marie, and she's my heart's delight. Second one is prison, baby, the sheriff's on my trail. And if he catches up with me, I'll spend my life in jail. Got a wife in Chino, baby, and one in Cherokee. First one says she got my child, but it don't look like me. Set out running, but I take my time. A friend of the devil is a friend of mine. I get home before daylight, just might get some sleep tonight. up with me, I'll spend my life in jail. Got a wife in Chino, baby, and one in Cherokee. First one say she got my child, but it don't look like me. I set out running, but I took my time. A friend of the devil is a friend of mine. I get home before daylight, just might get some sleep tonight.
llego a Puerto, voy para Mayarí. De Alto Cedro voy para Marcané, llego a Puerto, voy para Mayarí. De Alto Cedro voy para Marcané, llego a Puerto, voy para Mayarí. El cariño que te tengo no te lo puedo negar, se me sale la babita, yo no lo puedo evitar. Cuando Juanica y Chan Chan en el mar servían arena, como sacudí el jibe, a Chan Chan le daba pena. Limpia el camino de paz, y yo me quiero sentar en aquel tronco que veo, y así no puedo llegar. De Alto Cedro voy para Marcané, llego a Puerto, voy para Mayarí. De Alto Cedro voy para Marcané, llego a Puerto, voy para Mayarí. De Alto Cedro voy para Marcané, llego a Puerto, voy para Mayarí.
One, two, testing. 1, 2, check. 1, 2, okay.
De Alto Cedro voy para Marcané, llego a Puerto, voy para Mayarí. De Alto Cedro voy para Marcané, llego a Puerto, voy para Mayarí. De Alto Cedro voy para Marcané, llego a Puerto, voy para Mayarí.
These men that I've been seeing, baby, got their soul up on a shelf. You know they could never love me when they can't even love themselves. But I need someone to love me, someone to really understand, who won't put himself above me, who just loves me like a man. I never seen such losers, darling, even though I tried to find
to be moving. I've been kicked by the wind, robbed by the sleet, had my head stoved in, but I'm still on my feet, and I'm
All right, everyone. Let's, if you're going to have a seat for the ceremonial portion of today, please grab your seat. We've come to that time. Yeah, I just figured that out. Am I safe? All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the celebration of Jim Moriarty's life. I'm so glad you all understand what kind of celebration of life this is. You know, it's I think, an honor and pleasure for all of us to be here, myself included. If you knew Jim, you loved Jim. He was just one of those guys. And no doubt, you know, we all knew him to various levels. You know, Jim and I got to know each other for the first time when we were both coaching soccer. In fact, I think Jim had kind of taken over our funky little league here at the TCC. And he was just one of those guys where I was like, this man is absolutely chill, a total pleasure to just collaborate with in any way, shape, or form. And I never had any experience other than that in all of our dealings over the years here in the Canyon and at TCC. So he was just one of those, what you might call a great dude. This turnout, I think, speaks for itself. I think just, you know, the fact that we're out of seats and everyone's here and just meeting the moment with so much love and joy and availability to laughters and tears is a real testament, I think, to just what a beautiful man and what a beautiful family you have, Terry and Aiden and Thad, with Jim. So give it up for them. I mean, on short notice, too. Look at this crowd. You know, life is a mystery. You don't know why these things happen and when they happen, and sometimes it's a complete surprise, such as this. And I remember when my own father passed away, like much sooner than I would have liked. One of the things that occurred to me in that moment was, there's no correct way to do this. There's just honoring my experience and my process. And I encourage everyone here who loved Jim and loves Jim to honor your process and connect with each other and know there's no correct way to do this. That said, I think as a reference point to think about how Jim would want you to do it, And I think that, some of the choices for attire today, for example, I think speak to the sort of mirth and sort of humor and celebrational spirit I think Jim would like to be in this room. And you guys are all doing it, and I think that's so important. I think, it is a celebration of life. This is a weird party to celebrate a great man, and I'm sure he would want us to have as good a time as possible here, now, and as far as we go down the road of this life. So please, when you think of Jim, think of how he would like you to live and experience this moment and the moments you have ahead of yourself. And also, to remember, we need to just savor the people we love and the opportunities for joyful experiences that we have. Because we don't know how far the road is for us. I might have 100 more years, or I might have 100 more minutes, and the same is true for all of us. So please, let this be an opportunity to remind all of each other and ourselves to keep the important things in mind, keep our priorities straight, choose our battles wisely, and take advantage of our opportunities for joyful experiences. My experience of Jim was that he was someone who definitely made the most of each of his experiences and always met the moment with a smile and a sense of humor and an easygoing attitude, because he wasn't sweating the small stuff. That was my experience. If any of you have some correction, please, you will have the opportunity today. To that end, we're gonna have some folks come up and speak. If you don't know if you're one of those people, that's okay. That's okay. We'll see how long this goes. But I think just kind of have your little moment of like, well, what would Jim want, and what does my heart tell me? I think in the spirit of the great Jim Moriarty, we're kind of just making this up as we go and letting our hearts lead the way. I think that's largely how he led his life and was such like a heart-centric guy. And I think we don't need to know, we just need to make sure our hearts are leading us. So that's what we're doing this celebration of life ceremony in the spirit of. So if you would, just one more time, let's just give it up for the great man that was Jim Moriarty. That's right. We all love you, Jim. I think everyone's got their own take on what's going on in the metaphysical realms, but for me, I experience a presence. I feel like Jim is in the room. I feel like he's with us. I feel like he's really appreciating the appreciation, if you will. And of course, there's everyone's got their own take. If he's just in your heart, well, guess what? He's alive and well in your heart, really like taking this in. So whatever your sense of things is, I encourage you to lean into it, but know that his presence, whether you think it's external, internal, or both, it's strong, it's potent, it's now, and he's with us. So, let's definitely honor him in the best way we can, as you all just did so well. So thank you. To that end, we are going to. Do you guys have Terry's? Tom, are you ready over there? Oh, okay, yes. To that end, Terry was confident that she wouldn't be able to hold it together up here, and we love you, Terry, so much. You know, this is as much about celebrating you. You know, next to every great woman, there's a great man, and
Terry
Jim was that
Moriarty.
man.
I have been with Jim for the past 25 years.
All right,
Married
take
for
it away.
20 of those years. I didn't think I would be able to stand up here today, but I wanted to take a moment and share just how special Jim was to me, to us. To go over everything that made him special would take forever, so I figured I'd highlight just a few of those important things. The first is Jim fully and completely believed that he single-handedly brought back the word splendid. And to some extent, he's probably right. Our entire family, my friend group, everyone I know is so splendid, entirely because of him. So when going around your days, if you think the word splendid, think of Jim. He was also, for our family, the king of earworms. He would sing the most ridiculous songs, most of which I think he made up on the spot, but he claimed were real. The most famous one would be, "Mares eat oats and does eat oats and little lambs eat ivy, a kid would eat ivy too, wouldn't you?" Every time we saw a lamb or a goat anywhere in Topanga, which is pretty much everywhere. And I think the thing that made Jim the most special is just his love and commitment for his family and friends. He was the king of the word we. He cared about everyone and everything so much, and he would utilize this concept of we everywhere. It used to drive me nuts sometimes because he would have family or friend trips where we all had to be together in one house, and he wouldn't let people have their own preferences or be other places just because he wanted everyone he loved together. Or when you do a crossword with Jim, you weren't allowed to just answer the question. You had to preface it with, I don't know, you would know more than I would, but could the word be this? And then you could say the word. And if you didn't, he would scold you and you would have to go back and say it over again. He cared so much about the we that during COVID, he read an article in the LA Times about how the mariachi industry was collapsing. And Jim was like, we got to do something. And so Dos de Mayo was created. We got a bunch of mariachi bands. We had them drive through Topanga, guided by Jim, with designated stop points. Because clearly, what doesn't Topanga love more than a mariachi party? And they did. It really was great. It was one of the funnest things we've done. I never really understood the power of we until I met him. Life is a lot easier with somebody who is there with you and for you and always on your side, even when it just doesn't seem possible. I'm not the easiest person. I run hot, especially when I was younger. And so somebody who was too nice, I'd run over them. And somebody who pushed back too hard would bring out my oppositional streak. And Jim was the perfect combination. We fought, absolutely. But there was so much love there. He was so focused on we and how we get through things together. Life is wildly unpredictable. Prior to this trip, he had gotten an unbelievably clean bill of health. He had started going to Pilates classes, which he called Pilates, with immense pride. And he was working with Corey and getting acupuncture, and he was feeling good. Everything was good. It really makes no sense, and it really highlights to me the importance of spreading the we and love around. I want to thank all our friends and family and everybody who's turned up. It's been overwhelming. I am less good at the we than Jim was. And I'm really good at the I and closing it on myself. But luckily I have two boys who are very good at the we. And and we just really appreciate it. I value all of you very much. I've never been good at any of this, and I do worry that I am forever changed because Jim was the best part of me. But we were very lucky to have the time we had with him. And so, if Jim is hearing this, I do want to thank you for the we. Thank you for the community you built around us. I do wish we had more time, and thank you all for coming and supporting him.
Thanks, Terry. You guys know what I think would be splendid? If we could all just do a little Mairzy Notes song together. Those of you who are up for it, I'll lead. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, Mairzy Notes and dozy notes and little lambs eat ivy. A kid eats ivy too, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? All right. Those are two things I didn't know I had in common with Jim. I'm also a big fan of using the expression splendid. And that song has been an earworm in my head since I was a child. So when I saw you saying that, Terry, I was just like, oh my God, Jim and I had some bonding to do over this. But I'm glad we got the opportunity here and now. And thank you all for humoring me and perhaps Jim on that one. And thank you, Terry, again, for those heartfelt, beautiful words, so well expressed. We love you so much. Let's give Terry just some more. So now this is the opportunity for loved ones to share. I have no list on this, except I know that Thad is going to come up and speak. Is that right? No? What? Yeah? Okay. He says yeah. Yeah? All right. Come on up, and we'll find out what's going on.
Oh, damn. There's hella people. What'd you say, Stig? 100%. Yeah, ish kabibble. So I wanted to tell a story, like my favorite story my dad told me. It was a story about how he created the gimber. Does anyone know what a gimber is? No, y'all don't know what the gimber is? Okay, so basically the story goes, he was watching a baseball game or something, and his friend tells him to gimber him. So he goes, yo, Aiden, get up here. Gimber me. Yo, gimber me all over. Oh, yeah. You see this? Oh, it's just like the best handshake, I guess. And apparently, after that, all the baseball players, they started gimbering in the locker room, gimbering in the bedroom, gimbering in public. It's crazy. Gimbering Aiden. I don't know. It's crazy. It was, I've never heard of a gimber before him. No one here knows what a gimber is. But, gimber, state of mind. That's what I think of. Another thing I want to add on to the we thing my mom said. For example, he really liked the word we. Whenever I went to take a math test or anything, he would go, we are going to do great. Yeah, we sure will. Did not do great. No, tests are pretty beautiful, man. Dude. But he would be there. He would be right outside the window, elementary school, running up and down. He would run with that's not even a joke either. One time I was taking a test in first grade, or something third grade. I got it eventually. And I look out my window while I'm taking a test, and I see my dad racing after my dog, just racing after him. Because apparently my dog jumped out the window when I went to class. So I watched him chase, and I didn't notice until my friend goes, taps me on the shoulder, goes, yo, is that your dad? So funny. He used to try to embarrass me as much as he could. It was his favorite game. So I'd walk out of school and go, Thaddeus! Make me yell, I love him, like in front of all school, and that was elementary school. Oh, it was like, oh my God, I was so embarrassed. But looking back, it was so funny, man. He would love to do that. He would tell me that he's preparing me for when I grow up. I think he's just teaching me for my kids. They are gonna have a really bad time, man. Whew. I'm gonna give them a really hard name to pronounce, and I'm gonna watch all the teachers, doctors, friends struggle to get that name. And I am gonna sit back on a rocking chair and laugh so much. And then I'm gonna say, we're gonna do great on a test and run around. It's gonna be great. Maybe take my shirt off and just sprint down to school. It's gonna be fantastic. They're gonna love me, man. I can imagine that already. My favorite dad. I think I got everything.
Give it up for Dad. I love that, the big takeaway is like you are going to learn how to embarrass your children as well as he embarrassed you. And, the spirit of we, I think, is really, really strong in the room. I think that everyone feels like we're in this together, and it's, it's beautiful. I love Terry, your description. It almost sounded like he was like a fascist of love. But if you're gonna be a fascist, it's like for love, He just made sure everyone knew we were in this together, and that's a beautiful thing. And I bet Thad, when you didn't do great on the test, he was like, "It's okay, we're gonna get through this, right?" He was like, "No, you did that wrong. We were gonna succeed, but you failed." No. I have no idea if he would have said that, but I know he was a joker too. So. What a beautiful man! Thank you for sharing that. So this is the opportunity. I'm not sure who else would like to speak and do a remembrance, but this is your time. So if you are so inclined, please. I'm going to go with this fellow here because he stood up in a certain kind of way. This is hey brother. This is like a posse of best friends. I'm feeling vibe. So let's when you guys speak, please introduce yourselves and take it over.
Thank you, Adam. So I just wanted to start by saying, Jim was such a huge presence that him being gone creates a giant void. And I just never imagined how that could be filled. And now I see how it could be filled by all of us. So Barry put something together, and we're up here to share it with him. And he couldn't have put together words more perfectly to express how Jim felt to all of us. We all grew up together. I think you bet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Some of us grew up.
Yeah. But we've been a posse, for almost 60 years. It's one of the greatest things I've ever experienced in my life. So I'm going to hand it to Stig.
We are the Landslide Posse. And we thank you all for coming here today. We're all blessed to have had time on earth with Jim, and we will continue to, as they say in the biz, the kid stays in the picture. I'm going to read a statement that Barry wrote out. Is this thing on?
It is.
Jim was my best friend. I met him when he was 11 years old and new in Worcester. He was walking down the street, and I threw him a pass and said, "Hey, kid, catch!" And he did, making a spectacular diving catch into the dirt and gravel. We were lifelong friends from that moment on. Jim's infectious smile was ever present, except when he was being grumpy. Together, we had a penchant for getting into a little bit of trouble. My father banned us from hanging around each other because he thought Jim was a bad influence. Your dad thought that? He didn't know that Jim was just a whole lot more likely to get caught than I was. He was larger than life in everything he did. Arms flying, legs splayed. He couldn't help but get caught, and I couldn't help but defend him fiercely. And you did, my friend, every time. Once we got into a fight with each other, but just as fists went up, we ended up hugging and saying that we loved each other and we didn't want to fight. We grew up with an incredible group of friends who are all still close today. Duke, Johnny, Marty, Scotty, Spike, and Stig. And Charlie and Bruce. Best friends anyone could ask for. Jim was always at the center of it all, the most fun, the most ridiculous. The only person who hated Google because it ruined his ability to make a preposterous argument with any subject. Just ask his siblings. When Jim met Terry, everything got better. He was never happier, never sure about the next step. Jim told us, and everyone who would listen, how proud he was and how much he loved Terry, Aiden, and Thad. Every chance he got. Nothing in this world made him happier, and we were all so lucky to witness the beautiful family he and Terry created. Wow. And they made Topanga the center of the universe. All right. My kids, this is Barry's statement, my kid too. Allie and Ellis called him Uncle Jim, and they loved him and Terry and the boys as family. His boys call me Uncle Barry, and they will always be my family. We are so lucky to have had them in our lives, to have them in their lives. There is no denying that Jim was a life well lived, full of life, fun, family, friends, and community. Every one of us, everybody here, every Topanga Days, every Food Truck Friday. Come on, you guys. This is crazy, right? He made it the center of the universe. We were so lucky to have him in our lives, and he will always be part of us.
Hey. I have a little story about that's become lore in our circle with Jim, and I'll share that with you right now. Is that you, Jimmy? I heard my dad say that night. I recognized the drum beat, kind of a slowed-down version of a groove made famous by Bo Diddley, appropriated by Buddy Holly, and then, of course, adapted by our favorite band, the Grateful Dead. It became way more relaxed. And, for some of their shows, so slow it seemed to maybe even stop. But, so I thought, yeah, cool, it's not Fade Away. I guess I was asleep first, but wait, it's loud. Is not Fade Away being pounded out ferociously on the roof of our house? Oh, shit. My mind started to run through the possible scenarios, but it was hard to ignore what was the most likely case. As I lay in my bed in the bedroom that was right next to my folks, I was trying to wake up enough to figure something out while for the moment pretending to be asleep. I eventually heard my dad say, "Is that you, Jimmy?" And what I heard next was my dad letting Jim and Barry, maybe Spike, through their bedroom window. So, I am definitely not getting up for this, I decided. Like I was in some kind of fear and loathing scenario where staying far away from Hunter Thompson and his attorney was often the best move for situations like this. This is one of the stories in our lore. I don't know whose idea it was. Maybe Barry. Was it your idea? You were the drummer. But I'm sure it made sense to my dad that must have been Jim. For my folks who love Jim and all of us, I think it made sense. It was just Jimmy being Jimmy. It's like, they probably thought that's like, well, yeah. Jim's out on the house banging a drum beat on the roof at 1 a.m. That's what he does, right? It's like, yeah, and it was just another day, and the next day I didn't hear about it, and they didn't freak out. They were just, maybe if it was Barry, it might have been Barry, but in their minds it made sense that it was Jim. And never heard about it, they didn't freak out. I thought, they might have thought you were a little drunk or maybe a little stoned, but I thought there might be something else involved. Yeah, so it was, I'm going to refer to my notes. So yeah, really just another day. My folks were very abiding of all, and they really loved us. And my phone is really screwing up right now. And not scrolling, I'm sorry. It had to stay in one place. But it really, my folks not freaking out, was just testament to how much they love Jim and how much we all follow him. We followed him unconditionally into any situation with love, never questioned any of it. Did we? Did you? No, we never did. And I know all of you know what that feels like, no matter where you met Jim, wherever along the way you might have seen him. You know what I'm talking about. We love him unconditionally.
Anybody else from your crew here? Okay. Let's give it up for the OG Jim Best Friends. I love that part of these things, Cheers, mate.
Of course you do.
Oh my gosh, there's more stories these guys have, that's for sure. Okay, well, I know that there's others that also want to do a remembrance. I know, Randall, you want to do, and I know there's a young lady right there as well. I saw you, so why don't you come on up, and then, Randall, you can go next. How's that sound? And if you would, tell us your name when you begin to share. Oh, yeah, here you go.
Hi, everyone. I'm Terry's sister, Chris. And I want to point out, I'm wearing my Christmas bow tie. Jim was a very enthusiastic Christmas dresser. He wore the whole suit, and I bought the whole suit. I put it on, and I was like, nope. Only Jim could pull this off, so he gets the bow tie today. I've known Jim for over 20 years. He was an adoring husband, father, brother, and the funnest uncle. My most cherished memories are the many family vacations we took together. Jim and his support staff, I'll call it, of Terry, Aiden, and Thad. They brought adventure to our lives, and we talked about it often, even well before his passing. We always said, thank God for the Moriartys. Our kids' first time on a wakeboard was with Jim. We released turtles into the ocean. We snorkeled multiple days in the Red Sea. We went to Angels games. We had endless hours of playing mini golf and football at the Marriott. And of course, lots and lots of time in the ocean. Jim was there for all the kid stuff. When we were together, we'd say, Jim's got him, and we'd take off and take a rest. But Jim just couldn't get enough. He loved playing. He loved spending time with the kids. He loved being around them. So I'll say we'll miss him dearly. He still had more time to give this world. But the time he did spend with us, he spent loving and living fully. So rest in peace, Jim. We love you.
Thank you so much. These are here, just so you know. Mark, why don't you come on up, Mark? Let's give it up for Mark.
I guess
It's on. Just hold it
closer. So I'm Jim's brother, Mark. I'm 3.5 years older than him. Yeah. Thank you. And it's so strange to be talking about Jim in the past tense. You know, I got together with all my family yesterday, and we're all saying, okay, come on, Jim's going to walk in that door any minute, and it's just going to be a big excuse to have a party. But as somebody else already said, yeah, he is a good excuse to have a party, either way. But I'll tell you a little story. Jim and I shared bedrooms when we were young. We were bunkmates back when bunk beds were typically used in small rooms. Jim used to say, I want the top bunk. There's less air up there. He was the one with the best one-liners, even if he was often quoting the Three Stooges. We shared a lot back in those days and beyond. We liked the same music. I distinctly remember us playing air guitar while listening to the Allman Brothers at Fillmore East on our bedroom record player. Sometimes we used tennis rackets as guitars. We would take turns at who would get to be Duane Allman or Dickie Betts, the two guitarists in that band. It could get contentious, but we worked it out. Jim would be Duane on Whipping Post. It was my turn In Memory of Elizabeth Reed. In those days, Jim was trying to learn guitar. Our parents got him a guitar and some lessons, but it didn't really take, and I think I spent more time with that guitar than he did. And it was finally I who ended up as a guitar player instead of Jim. I always felt he kind of resented that, and with the exception of Duane Allman, Ry Cooder, and our friend here, Duke Levine, Jim seemed to be a little antipathetic to guitar players. He seemed to develop a taste for horn players and avant-garde jazz and Afro-Cuban music, and a lot of the stuff you're going to hear here. So there was one thing that really, if there was a through line in our life that we shared, it must have been the ebbs and flows of the Boston sports teams. Mostly we were pretty lucky in that regard, especially if you consider the Celtics, whose domination of the NBA is practically legendary. In the early 70s, we had the great years of the Boston Bruins with the great one, Bobby Orr. Jim once wrote a letter to Bobby, and I'll paraphrase. Dear Bob Orr, I think you're the greatest hockey player in the world. I would be willing that you won't be traded to another team. Please send me your picture with an autograph. Much later, Bobby Orr took out a full-page ad in the Boston Globe in support of Donald Trump for president. Jim's comment about that was, Bobby was a great player, but he's not the smartest guy. That was it. Hard as it may be to believe, the Patriots were a laughingstock back in those days, so we did our best to ignore them. But if there ever were a defining element in our lives, it surely had to be the Red Sox, the lovable losers whose neighbors to the near south routinely humiliated them, and by extension, us. New York, the Empire State, the land of excessive success, juxtaposed to Boston, the capital of cold, hard New England, where winter ends sometime after opening day of baseball season. Some of you may be unaware that the Sox were not always as successful as they are now. In fact, they're the most successful team in the 21st century. Apologies to the Dodgers, of course. But they weren't always that dominant. Jim and I came into this world sometime in the middle of one of the longest dry spells in sports history, when the mantra after so many opening day Red Sox losses was, wait till next year. We had some close calls, but we just couldn't win. But in 1986, the Sox made it to the league championship series against the Angels. It was looking pretty grim for the Sox when the Angels went up 3-1, with a possibly deciding game in Anaheim. Some nearly miraculous hitting and fielding by the Sox secured a victory and forced a home game, a Game 6 in Boston. Out of the blue, I got a call from Jim. Mark, I just purchased 2 tickets to the game at Fenway. I'm flying out on the red eye. Can you pick me up at Logan Airport? We're going to watch the Sox win the pennant. You have to understand that by this time, Jim had been living in LA for 3 years and had replaced the dark pessimism instilled by his Northeastern upbringing. Yeah. With a sunny, can-do optimism that was not to be contradicted. So in spite of my doubts about the Sox prospects for victory, I decided to go along for the ride. Sure enough, they won Game 6 in a very close game. And after the game, Jim and I were among the first in line to buy tickets for Game 7 the following night. We were pretty nervous because the Sox did not have a favorable record in Game 7s. But when we arrived at Fenway Park the next evening, Jim spotted a man selling the very t-shirt that I'm wearing. Bought one for me and one for himself. And as a gesture of optimism, we both wore those shirts as we watched our beloved Red Sox win that game and take the American League pennant. The shirt has been hanging in my closet ever since then. That's 40 years. And I'm wearing it today to remember that very special time that I shared with my brother Jim. Thanks, Jim.
Give it up for Mark, brother of Jim. I don't know if this Boston sports propaganda can keep going. I was born and raised in New York and LA transplant, so I've definitely never rooted for the Red Sox. But that was a damn good story, and they have done quite well in the 21st century. Those are facts, so respect. It's not too late, but it's pretty late for this year. But no, what a great story. What a great shirt. You should wear that shirt all the time. It's only got a couple little stains. You're good. All right, Randall, you wanted to do a remembrance? Here we go. Come on up.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Go Brewers. Whoa, that is loud right there. How you doing? I'm Randall. I'm a gymaholic, as we all are. Actually, I'm drinking water. So I'm trying to how to formulate this. So it's some of the things that people have talked about with Topanga, and center in the universe and everything. And this is more about connection and reconnection. So this whole story starts in 1988 and ends right here in the center of the universe. How about that? So in 1988, I was 4 or 5 years into my first years of working in the television industry here in Los Angeles for Milwaukee. Go Brewers. And I was bored as hell. I needed to get out. Oh my God. Cameraman, panned just in the studio, totally boring. So I was like, I need to get in the film industry. So I'll run through this quick. One day I woke up, looked in the penny saver, got an ad for being an extra. I called the number. They said, come on in. I went on in. They said, have a seat. I sat there. A lady walked by. She's like, ooh, you have long hair. Are you with us? I don't know. I haven't talked to anybody yet. She's like, hold on. She walks away. She says, comes back and says, are you busy for the next 3-4 months? I'm like, I'm all yours. I became the stand-in for the lead actor of a movie where I got my SAG card and my line and yeah. Hunchback of UCLA was the working title. It came out as Big Man on Campus. So Monday's going to be the first day of work, and so I thought it would be good to get a pager. Remember pagers? They clipped on your belt like a doctor. And I thought I was so cool. I had this pager, and if somebody calls me, I can get work, and yeah, I'll make it. I'll be somebody. And so I go out that weekend, and it's the weekend before going to my first day on a film set, right? We were going to film at USC. And I'm at Barney's Beanery in West Hollywood. This is pre-me coming out, but I got long hair. That's why the lady liked me, because I had long hair, and the character, the hunchback, was going to have long hair, right? Perfect stand-in. So I'm at Barney's Beanery, and there's playing pool and having fun and drinking, and there's this tall, kind of cute, handsome guy with long, straight hair. Catches my eye. Just, he's a handsome guy. That's it, right? I end up in the bathroom with the tall, handsome guy. Like, wow, he's right in here. That's wild. And so I get done doing my business, and I go to the sink to wash my hands, and he's like, I was like, what? You're the tall, handsome guy is talking to me, in the bathroom. What's up with that? I was like, yeah, what'd you say? He's like, are you a drug dealer? It's like, what the fuck? What? Are you a drug dealer? It's like, no. Like, why? He's like, oh, you got a pager. It's like, I didn't think about that one. I didn't think about that one at all. So I was like, oh, okay, nice to meet you. And we go out of the bathroom, washed our hands, as good people do. And then Monday, it's my first day on the movie with my long hair and my frickin' pager, and it's going to be awesome, and we're at USC, and I come around the corner, and in the back of the corner is this tall, handsome, long-haired dude who thought I was a drug dealer and who happens to be working on this movie that I'm about to start my day with. And that started my connection with Jim. How about that? West Hollywood. That's before it was the city of West Hollywood. Yeah, so that's wild enough right there. So I could just stop, but so as time goes on, so as you know, working in a film set, you work with the same people for hours and hours and hours and hours, and you get sick of them, and you have fun with them, and you have heart-to-hearts with them, and So I knew it was my chance to, like, make a move in the industry, and that's to help anybody, right? So I was not just a stand-in and then I go sit down. I would help move coolers and help do whatever. And Jim took a liking to me, clearly, and Jim taught me some grip work. So he was the first person to teach me how to skin a 4x4 with gel and diffusion and do some other grippy type stuff. So, and we'd have fun, you know, in the back of the trailer, and he was fun to talk to, and I had a smirk, and he'd say something, and like that was unbelievable, but he'd be like, yeah, like, no, it's real, right? And so we had this connection, and fast forward, I end up getting in the electric side of it, the lighting side, and he's staying with the grip side. And he came, I ended up moving because I rescued a dog. The landlord said, get out of Sherman Oaks. Somebody said, Topanga's a great place for dogs. So I came to Topanga and looked at the boards, and that's when I first found Topanga and answered an ad for a place and moved to a place, cabin on Grandview, and had parties up there that Jim would come to. And I think I planted the seed of Topanga in Jim, the guy who thought I was a drug dealer. So fast forward, a lot of people don't know me, and a lot of you do, that I'm like solid Topanga, even though I don't live in the canyon anymore. But it's about connection, and that's where I re-met Jim. Saw this tall, not so long hair anymore, guy on the ball field, and we're like, fucking Jim, what are you doing in Topanga? I live here now. Oh my God. And he's married and family and kids and living happy. And so, you know, from Barney's Beanery bathroom to Topanga days, that's a connection. So, welcome to the center of the universe.
Thanks, Randall. What Randall didn't tell you is he also became Jim's weed dealer for like 20 years. Just, yeah. He's like, get rid of that pager, dude. Well, you get the award for the most unexpected story, Randall, for sure. Do we have anybody else who's okay, come on. You're in full deserving mode.
Well, welcome everybody. Love you, Terry. You were the dream girl. You made it happen. Two amazing, super handsome sons. Jesus. Everybody, keep your daughters under lock and key. I'm telling you, it's unbelievable, right? When I was 13-ish, walking around the junior high school that we went to in Worcester, Massachusetts, and arguably the most beautiful girl in the world, Rachel Levine, Duke's sister, came up and said to me, hey, do you know Reggie Jeffries? And do you know he's now in a band with my brother Duke and this guy Tommy Murray from across town, and you should come over to the house, and because you look like you could be in this band. And it happened, and we rehearsed, and we got to know each other for a few weeks. And one afternoon on a Friday, I think, I went over to Duke's place, and we played for a while, and then they said, we're going to go and hang out with our friends from up the street today, Barry Masterman and Jim Moriarty. And met those guys, and I picked up I think a 6-pack of Molson on the way, because I had been to Canada. And Jim reminded me of this a few years ago. He said, "You remember the first time we met?" I said, "Yeah, I was with Duke and Rachel and Reggie." And so we went over there, and I had this, and we were introduced, and I said, or Jim said, "What are you drinking?" And I said, "Oh, it's Molson." And he says, "Any good?" I says, "It's from fucking Canada." I'm in. Lifelong buds. And there was, a number of years where we were all getting acquainted and playing in the band and rehearsing and blah, blah. And eventually, Jim's parents, the parents of all you, oh my God, this is unbelievable. Well, you had all, except for Mark and Pat, you had all moved out of the house by then, right? Pat maybe was a little bit out of the house, and Mark was still kind of there, right? So Jim's parents, the Commodore, we called them, right? The Commodore, first non-Navy college commissioned officer in World War II. Yeah. Jim's from a smart family. I mean, these people had some shit going on. So at that point, they had moved to Worcester in this beautiful big house on the west side where we all were lucky enough to live. And his parents started working, looking for their retirement house. And they were going up to Vermont a lot. And eventually they found it on the lake, that amazing place. And so, as a result, there's some time between when they were looking and when they found it, and after they found it. It'd be a Tuesday or a Wednesday, and we'd get a call from Jim. Pick up the phone, and we hear, "The geese are flying north." And we immediately knew that on Thursday or Friday, we'd move into Jim's parents' place for either a weekend of close friends or a citywide 4 high schools party that would knock the socks off of Hunter Thompson. And boy, it was an amazing thing. We were so lucky. And we were really lucky that we were responsible enough to not blow it the first time they went away, because they kept going away. So, but there was one of these times when Barry and Scotty and Duke and Marty and I think Johnny Gallagher and all our buddies, we were sleeping over, and we were in the living room at the place, and we had, couch cushions and a mattress or two and all that. Gone to sleep after the night before craziness. And we woke up in the morning, one at a time, and started, conversing, and, well, what are we going to do today? And maybe we're going to go out for breakfast. And I think Barry said, well, we've got scrambled egg. We got eggs in the fridge. We got bacon. We're going to make scrambled eggs and bacon. And Jim Moriarty stood up with the pronouncement. And he said, most people in the world wake up every morning and they put their pants legs on one leg at a time. Not Jim Moriarty. Jim Moriarty puts his pants on both legs at the same time. And he's holding his pants in front of him like this, and he jumps into them. Gets him about 2/3 of the way up, falls back on the bed, completes the job as he's standing up. And we rolled in laughter for 20 minutes. Jim Moriarty leapt into life. Jim Moriarty was a badass. My friends, our Topanga community, the center of the universe, the kid stays in the picture. Terry, we're with you. We're with Thaddeus and Aiden. And you call us and you tell us what we don't know yet, because we know. We know a lot of stuff. And you tell us whenever we have to know something else. For anything. The kid stays in the picture.
Give it up for Stig. Stig, is that right? Is that your name, Stig? All right. Give it up for Stig, guys. This is one of those things where, as you're moved to, this is your opportunity to speak, and Susan Clark has something to share. So let's put our hands together for Susan.
Terry. So as Rondell said, Topanga's a place for dogs. And my husband Kenny and myself would see Jim every morning at Topanga Beach. We would be the dog walkers, and there would just be the three of us. And it was every day, and our dogs were the Topanga Beach dogs in the ocean. And that's a sore miss. We went down there, and Jim was missing. So I found this, and I think this is appropriate. It's Death is Nothing at All by Henry Scott Holland. Death is nothing at all. I have only slipped away into the next room. I am I, and you are you. Whatever we were to each other, that we still are. Call me by my own familiar name. Speak to me in the easy way you always used to. Put no difference into your tone. Wear no forced air of solemn or sorrow. Laugh as we always laughed at the little jokes we always enjoyed together. Play, smile, think of me, pray for me, and let my name be ever the household word that it always was. Let it be spoken without effort, without the ghost of a shadow in it. Sorry. Just bear with me. Life means all that ever was. There is absolute, unbroken continuity. What is death but a negligible accident? And why should I be out of mind? Because I am out of sight. I am waiting for you. For an interval somewhere, very near, just around the corner. All is well, nothing is past, nothing is lost. One brief moment, and all will be as it was before. How we shall laugh at the trouble of parting when we meet again.
Thanks, Susan. We're going to have a couple other speakers. I do want to share that I believe Aiden put together the slideshow you were all watching before. And if we get the chance, we'll throw it up again when we finish the proceedings here, and we're all hanging out and just celebrating the life of the beautiful Jim when it's taco time and such. But right now, I want to bring up David Gorman. David is a great friend of the family. He compiled all the music, some of Jim's favorite music that we were all listening to, and one of the most pure-hearted men I know. Give it up for David.
Thank you. I'll try to be somewhat quick, and this is something I already said, Terry, days after we found out what happened. And it's the thought that I keep kind of coming back to for comfort in all of this. And it's not one Jim story, but a recurring Jim story of, I don't know, the hundreds of afternoons we spent at your house, on your patio, just hanging out. And Jim could be a grumpy motherfucker, and we would all be hanging out, having a lovely afternoon, and he would be complaining about what a terrible school our children all went to, or what a terrible president we had, or how bad the music that was playing was, and would just get fired up about it, and then in an instant, he would just stop and look out over the mountains and just turn to us and say, "Aren't we all so lucky? Look at this. Look at where we are. We're here together." And I keep coming back to that. And I'm thinking it right now. Just everyone together. And that he brought us together. That he brought our families together. That, you know, he brought you guys here. And just wanted to acknowledge that part of who he was. Just never forget it.
I just want to say that was like a perfect share for this context. So just like note that. Anybody else who comes up? Just kidding. I have Rit here who also has something to share. So please come on up, Rit.
Hi, I was kind of on the same theme as David. So I met Jim when our kids were in kindergarten, and because he was around so much, I was around so much, I just spent a ton of elementary school years. So I really remember what David was talking about, the grumpy guy, but then that flip. We could be at the beach, we could be on a hike, and yes, he was this great reminder. And I remember Julianne texting me and just like, you'd just be somewhere with Jim and he would just be like, "Isn't this great?" And it was just amazing because it would just like snap you out of that, you know, parent frustration with a 6-year-old who got stung by a bee or whatever. But I remember him talking so fondly about all his friends from Massachusetts. I'm married to a New Yorker, and I spent a lot of time on the East Coast, and I felt like early on Jim and I could just go at it with politics, and sometimes we disagree, but like, I liked that vibe, and I'm gonna miss that vibe, because like Jim, as someone else mentioned, I've lost some of that East Coast pessimism. I've gotten a little more Topanga. And I guess the last thing I want to mention is, because I have a little of this experience, I'm going to come up here, because I work with kids. And around the same time that I started working at the elementary school, Jim started coaching soccer. So we would be at Food Truck Friday or something, and different kids would come up to him and be, "Hi, Coach Jim." And when they're like 6 and under and they see you out of context, they kind of treat you like a celebrity, which is pretty fantastic. But they would, "Hi, Coach Jim. Hi, Coach Jim." And sometimes he'd remember their names, sometimes he wasn't sure, but he would give them such a good hello, and they would go away, and he would just be like, "Rit, that is just the best. It's the absolute best." And he's right. And the other thing I want to mention is his passion for his kids and all of our kids. Every single time I saw him, how's Soren? If Soren's there, it's like, Soren, what are you up to? It was beautiful. And the first time I went to his house with Terry, I just remember she cooked everything, because Terry's Terry, and she's amazing. And that's what he said. Like it was coming to the end of the party, and he just grabbed you and was just like, you're amazing. And it was true. So he was a really loving guy and a very authentic guy, and I will miss him terribly, but I'm really grateful that I got to know him.
Thanks, Rich. Thank you so much. Well said, well said. You know, it's important to, as Rich said, to be authentic. So he was a pure-hearted, big-hearted, kid-loving guy, but I love that we're hearing about his grumpy side too, because that's the full picture. You know, we're all a little like that, right? So I want to just make sure that everyone who is called to speak today. Oh, here we go. All right. Please introduce yourself.
I have nothing prepared, but I have to say, as his sister, I'm Pat Strong, Pat Moriarty Strong. Am I short? Oh. The only people who are allowed to call me Patty, by the way, are the people in that row right there. But Jimmy would call me Patty as well, and it was okay because it was Jimmy. Mark and Jimmy and I were the last three in the house. We were the three youngest. And we had some really good times. You've heard the stories. And these guys are like brothers to us. And it's just wonderful. But what I want to say to this community, well, first I want to say one thing. I'm so glad people were talking about Jim's grumpy side. Because I'm hearing all this wonderful stuff. Jim is like a saint. Jim couldn't do anything wrong, right? What the fuck is that? But anyway, Jim's good side was way bigger than his grumpy side. But as a member of his family, I can't tell you how much this means to me. All you people are here, and you love him. And you love him very much. We loved him first, okay? We loved him first. And we didn't always love him. That's the truth. But you know, you've heard about different stages of his life, the awesome, awesome, awesome relationship he has with these guys here. And then he went to California to make his mark on the world. But when he met Terry and they created their family, there was nothing more beautiful. Terry, you gave him his final act, and it was his best. Thad and Aiden, I don't have to tell you how much he loved you, because you know he showed you every day. We were just amazed, because we didn't really grow up. You know, we grew up in the 50s. The parents weren't like, oh, how you doing? You know, they were like, get out of the house and don't come back till the street lights come on. But he absolutely, the best part, and you've heard a lot of good parts of his life, the best part of his life was with Terry and the boys. And he loved you dearly. We siblings, we live all over the country. You guys are here. I can see the love. I can feel the love. And please continue to wrap this family in your arms. And thank you so much for loving them.
Thank you, Pat. The last three in the house, I mean, I know why they just kicked him out. How many were you? I just am so curious. 7. Amazing. Very, very Boston of you. Very. Some like Catholic stuff. Stig, are you here for one more? One more, okay. Give it for Stig. He's got clearly a deep best friend, so we'll give it for Stig, and then I'm going to share something that Noni brought to the table. Noni, of course, is very close and one of the big supporters of the fam and just part of the community and family, extended family, if you will. So I'll read that in just a moment. But first, one more from Stig.
Thank you very much. One time when in our mid-teenage years, and Jim and maybe Mark and Pat were still home. The Commodore and his wife found the marijuana. Jim and Barry had literally, Mike, you remember this, a garbage bag of marijuana in Jim's closet. Somebody we knew that grew it, right? You know, you can't keep that, you can smell it across the canyon. You can't keep that hidden, right? And so Jim got home from school, I think on a Friday, whatever day it was. And his father was there in the living room. His mom said, well, your father has to talk to you. And he said, a proclamation, like James. Maybe that's where he learned it. James, I've found the marijuana. Get rid of it immediately. Well, it was a Friday. We got rid of it by Sunday night. Because you can't disobey Navy orders, right? All right. Love you guys.
Thanks, Stig. I feel like you really just filled out the dazed and confused lifestyle you guys were living. Now we all really get it. But that's great. That's fantastic. Well, I'm going to take a moment now to read a poem. This is what I just mentioned a moment ago. Noni shared this with me, and she would read it herself, but she felt that I would probably be more up to the task. But so I'm happy to do it. So if you will, this is He Is Gone by David Harkins. You can shed tears that he is gone, or you can smile because he has lived. You can close your eyes and pray that he will come back, or you can open your eyes and see all that he has left. Your heart can be empty because you can't see him, or you can be full of the love that you shared. You can turn your back on tomorrow and live yesterday, or you can be happy for tomorrow because of yesterday. You can remember him and only that he is gone, or you can cherish his memory and let it live on. You can cry and close your mind, be empty and turn your back, or you can do what he would want. Smile, open your eyes, love, and go on. And that's He Is Gone by David Harkins. I'm very confident that the spirit of that poem is in the spirit of Jim's spirit, aligned with Jim's spirit, if you will, that we smile, that we continue to celebrate all that he brought to us and us together right now to indulge in our fond memories of him and the beautiful legacy he's left. And I think it's safe to say that the best way to honor him is to live your life fully and and express your truth as fully as he did, and with the same gusto and rambunctiousness, as well as just heartfeltness. He was obviously a full human being, but without question one that left the world a better place, and we're all the better for him being in it. So let's give it up for Jim.
He's my best friend, and I love him so much.
Let's give it up for Jim's best friends. Sometimes it's just about standing in it, standing in the truth, man. Thank you so much. Yes, sir.
I have another origin story which involves this guy and Jim. When I moved to Worcester, I think it was summer of '72, so it was right before 8th grade or 9th grade, you know. The first day, my sister and I used to walk to school, and we'd go through this forested area, this wooded area, behind some houses to cut a big part of the walk home away. And we're getting pelted with acorns. And we're like, what the hell? You know, getting pelted, and we see these two guys up above on the hill, and my sister, who was no shrinking violet, just went right up to him and like, what the hell are you doing, like pelting us with acorns? And like, it wasn't us, it wasn't us. And she's like, well then who was it? And Jim goes, it was the squirrels. So, you know, for 60 years almost, I've known these squirrels, you know?
Thanks so much, you guys. Well, you know what they say about squirrels? They love their nuts. But not as much as we all love Jim, so please honor him by having the best time for the rest of the evening and living your life fully and doing your thing and cherishing your loved ones. Thank you all so much for being part of this celebration of Mr. Jim Moriarty and the whole family.